Hey everybody, we're back. So I done a video on clearing out the desert dry valley caves. I showed you an easy way to kind of, get through it and not take a lot of damage. And now, as you can see, we are in the Frostlands, pretty deep in the Frostlands, and I'm at a cave. And we're fixing to go in, and I'm going to show you that it works just like it does in the dry valley caves. It also works in the grassland caves, which they're not as bad as everything else. So, but the ice caves are they're the hardest ones by far, and I'm going to show you that it does work just like in the other ones. So let's get into this and try to find one of them doorways here. Now, there is an easy way to kill these cursed dogs. One, if you can find high ground, and I always try to aim for their head. But what you want to do is, it's best if you can get them out in the open. This is not a good place to try and show you this because it's not open enough. So I'll just go with the high ground trick, and my crossbow off the rope. I didn't want to be down there and get break and me trying to show you. And with a crossbow, what you want to do is, especially if you're taking a shot from a distance and they haven't noticed you yet, try to make headshots on them. That does the most damage, just like with the brutes. If you get a headshot on a brute, it does more damage than like a body shot, and that makes it it just makes it easier to kill them. Now the ice caves, like I was saying, now they are a little bit trickier to find. Like a doorway, like in the dry valley caves. And always make sure to carry a shield, just in case. that right there. And always, if you can, always go back and pick your arrows up. Because
Dad, I found it. It's a 1 in a million chance. What I just found.
alright. My boy, my son plays Fortnite, but he plays the other, like the, Battle Royale and that. And he said he found something, and he was telling me about it, and he was like, I've never seen this before. And I said, I know, buddy. I have found, I had already found 4 or 5 of those in the past. There they are. Oh yeah. Look at all that sapphire. And you always want to make sure that you're looking up, and don't ever walk past something just because you think there's nothing there. Most of the time, if you find a kind of like a hole or a dark path that looks like there's nothing there, make sure you go down it, because that's where you'll find, in the my desert video that I showed you, that's where you're going to find your big clusters of ruby, just like right here. I found all this cluster of sapphire. And in the frost caves, a good way also to start looking for like a large amount of sapphire is if you see one of those cursed, the cursed dogs, dead dogs, bone dogs, whatever you all want to call them. If there's one of those around and you have to kill it to proceed, there's a pretty good chance that it's there guarding something. fail. Didn't mean to. So now we'll go back, because while I was up there, I saw something else. Right. There, here, see there, like, you know, if you really weren't paying attention and you just grabbed the sapphire that was down there, and I hadn't, you know, been looking around and looking up, I would have missed this, you know, this whole cluster of sapphire. So always make sure that you're looking up, because in the frost caves and the desert caves, like I showed you, you know, in the other video, a lot of your ruby and your, you know, your sapphire and ruby and stuff like that, it's gonna, you know, it's not going to be in plain sight. Like, part of it is you have to kind of, I guess, find it, hunt it out. So, but once you play and once you go in, you know, several caves, you'll learn, you know, you'll learn where stuff like should be. I don't know why it's not. Okay. Now, motivate on. And a lot of times, just having the illuminator charm, honestly, you'll miss stuff, because it's not as bright. It's not really bright enough to shine your way and show everything that you need to see, really. So you know, that's how come I always make sure that you have some torches to bring with you also, because once you get into the caves and you start looking for stuff, you want to be able to find your way. Okay, so this is a good example. This right here, in this cave, this should be, it should be a way, it should be like a doorway to where the skellyboys cannot come through right there. Let's see, we'll go find one if he's here, and I'll show you. Alright, so now I got his attention, and let's see how far he can go. Alright, so that's as far as he was able to go, is right there. So that means that, you know, it was actually the doorway was actually closer than what I thought it was. So you just do the same thing. You get them after you, find a doorway, run back through it, and they can't, you know, they can't get to you, so therefore they can't do any damage to you. So, alright, let me see if I can find another one, and I'll show you about it. Alright, so now I got them after me. we know the doorway is right here. Oh. Now, sometimes you will have to, you know, as far as he was able to come. And now the dynamite guys, they're a little more ornery. They don't, see, they're always trying to back up. So really, they're running from you, just like you run from them. So, now the only time that I've ever noticed that they, like, try to come after you, like, pretty much, you know, head on, is when you get, like, extremely too close or something. Here we go. But other than that, they pretty much run, you know, they run from you. So, alright, so now you see, alright, you see on the visual sound effects that there's a roller and a cursed dog, right? Or cursed wolf, whatever you all want to call them. So what we do is we know that with that cursed wolf there has to be something that he is protecting. Let's see how far he. Now you see how he was able to come all the way through there? So that means that that's not a doorway. That's not, you know, there's no barrier there. And that's what you have to be careful of. So we know there's no barrier here. So now we can actually turn around and go back up this way. Maybe. And hopefully we can get up here and, you know, find a barrier if we need to. And that way we can have some safety to get away if need be. Some of these caves are so hard to navigate. I try to use fires as much as possible. And you gotta watch these rollers because most of the time they won't start out rolling anymore. They start out by throwing stuff at you, and when they do, it'll actually take half of your hearts. There must be a barrier, a doorway barrier, right here somewhere that they can't get through. Yeah, it's right there. So you see how I went in that room? They can't come no further than where they're at. So that's a good thing. And all you have to do is get on the other side of that barrier, stand there, and clear them out. And then once you get them cleared out, you know, you can motivate through the cave and find out what they are protecting. It's gotta be big old thing of sapphire. And there it is. Yep. Also, watch out for the scorpions. See that gas? If you walk into it, it will take hearts from you, and it will kill you pretty fast. Oh, see there? One hit. He literally about took me out. And you have to watch too. Sometimes, when you have your shield up, and you're toggling through weapons, like I went from my crossbow over to my sword, and while doing that, I don't know why it does it, but while doing that, it actually took my shield down, so therefore it left me exposed. That's how come he was able to, when he hit me as he was rolling, that's why it done, took hearts from me. So always, make sure that you're, kind of paying attention and watching your shield to make sure that he's actually holding it up and not holding it to the side. It took me a while to learn that, and it did. Like, I died a couple times because of a result of that, and I couldn't figure out why. And then after watching a couple of my videos over again, and then watching some other creators' videos, and like I watched the same thing happen to them, and I thought, why is, like, we have our shield up, why is this happening? And then come to find out, even though you had your shield up, the way that he sticks it to the, the way that it goes to the side, it allows you to take a hit because he's not holding it directly out in front of you. So just kind of be mindful of that, because it will, especially, this is expert mode. You die a lot faster, I guess you could say, because you do not get armor in this mode. There's no armor. None of the, a lot of the charms that normally give you, like, a bunch of armor where you can take, you take a hit and it only takes like one heart away, or a half a heart, and stuff like that. In expert mode, there is no armor, so every hit that you take, it takes away, full hearts, whether it be one full heart or several, because no armor. So just, be mindful of that also. It took, like I said, it took me a little bit to learn that, and it did cost me a life or two when I first started trying to learn everything about this mode. So, just be mindful of that. Alright, let's go see if I can find another doorway here. Okay. So, you know that we've been collecting the sapphire and stuff out of this little area right here. Alright. So, what we're going to do now, and this is a potential doorway right here. So what we'll do, there's a skelly boy right here. Let's get his attention and let's see if he can come. Nope. Alright. So that is another doorway right there. And the reason I call them doorways is because you're going from one area of the cave into another area of the cave, and to do that you have to go, you know, it's just like going from one room in your house to another room. You either go down the hallway, you know, if it's an open floor plan, or you walk through the doorway. Oh yeah. So now that I got several of them from this part of the cave after me here, we will make them follow me to this point. And I always try to, you know, I try to position myself to where I have the advantage. And you just kind of keep going back and forth, especially if you have a dynamite thrower. Now they move also, sometimes they run away. And you have to actually go back in there, get their attention on you again, and then come back, you know, come back to the, and go back through the little doorway there. But it's a lot easier to run back and forth and get to a safe place. Now, like I said before, it's a lot easier to just get their attention and run back over there to that, you know, and get on the other side of that doorway, to where the only thing they can do is you know, throw stones at you, rather than be in here in the room with them trying to run around and get hung up on something, and then them have the advantage and kill you, and you can't get away quick enough to, you know, eat either a piece of meat or a pie or a pizza, you know, something to just get your hearts back. That way, you know, you can actually survive. So the best thing to do is just run back to that doorway. I mean, what's it gonna hurt, you know? It ain't nothing. It's not costing you anything except for a little bit of time to walk back and forth. And me, I don't like to die and have to restart and, you know, lose my progress, because in expert mode, if you do not have a totem, you lose all your progress and you have to restart. And I'm just, you know, I've already done that a couple times, and I'm not about that. Like, I have a good, you know, I got a good base setup system now. I got 2 or 3 villages. I got friends that are in this world with me. So I'm not trying, you know, I'm not trying to have to restart and start all over from scratch. I always carry a totem of return around with me. Yeah. Alright. Well, I'm gonna go get a little bit more loot, and then if I find another doorway, I'll show it to you. So I am completely full of resources except for one spot. And everywhere that I went after I got lost, I got turned around. So now I'm going to go back to my plane. And it's getting dark. And one thing that you do not want is to be in the Frostlands at dark if you can help it, because the skelly boys in the Frostlands are no joke. Like, you see the amount of hearts that I have, even with the extra hearts, right? 2 hits, 3 max, depending on if it's a sword, axe guy, whatever. 2 or 3 hits max, you're dead. Like, wiped out, dead. You know, and if you do not have a totem of return, well, guess what? You just lost your world. So I do not play around nor mess around in the frost biome at night. I get up in the air, I get some altitude to get away from everybody at all costs. And but I do have a totem of return on. I always keep one, I always make sure to keep it equipped. Carrying it in your inventory does not work. You actually have to have it equipped. So if you think that you could just carry it around in your inventory and run 3 charms, you will not make it. I hate to just be that blunt about it, but it's the truth. Like, you will not make it. And the reason why is because there's no armor, and even with running 3 charms, like, it's very, very hard. And if like I said, even if you're running 3 charms, 3 rare charms, or 3 epic charms, like, you're just not gonna make it. Drives me nuts. I'm just trying to get us back, and that way I can show you, everything that I collected. I want to make sure that we're not going to get attacked. And another thing that I always try to do is make sure that like if I don't have a landing pad or something of that nature to keep my ship, my car, or whatever vehicle I'm using, if I do not have if I don't have a landing pad built for it, I always make sure wherever I land, I was trying to get it back in here and I failed horribly. But if you have a car or a spaceship, whatever, and you land it on the ground, just make sure that you build some walls around it, because if you do not, the skeletons, if they spiders, skeletons, scoundrels, I mean, there's a ton of mobs in this game that will absolutely destroy your cars, your planes, and stuff like that. So I always box mine in with walls. You use what, a total of maybe 15, maybe 16 to 20 pieces of wood to ensure that the spaceship, car, whatever it is that you built, don't get destroyed by scoundrels. I think that's a pretty cheap, I think it's a pretty good, kind of a deal, because, you've got blast powder, your thrusters, your balloons, you have all that stuff, and if you just leave it out in the open and they get after it and they bust it, start tearing pieces off of it, and you come back to get in it to go somewhere or something like that, and then there you are, you're going to be hit because it's in pieces and you don't have the, and like if you was to spawn out of your exit, leave your world and come back and they done it and you didn't know it, well, when you come back your pieces are gone. You can't, you're not going to be able to fix it back. So, you just have to you just always want to take precautions. That's the best thing. That's the best advice that I can give you. Alrighty. So now, let's have a look here and see. Alright, so we got sapphire, dynamite, 1 curse bone, some iron, blast powder, iron bars, Arctic claw, Arctic shells, pretty good run. So, but I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I hope this video helps you all out, shows you how to, clear the caves like I did in the desert biome. If you have any questions, or you need help with something, just, put it in the comments below, and I will, because I always check all of my comments, and I'll comment and help you, or I can make a video and upload it, show it to you. Look up, I'm on Discord. I'm right now in the process of trying to get it linked to my YouTube channel. That way it'll always be there for everybody that has questions. So, but I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I hope y'all have a good rest of your weekend. And thank you for joining in. If you like the content, make sure that you are hitting the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And turn the notification bell on. That way you know every time I post a new video. And as always, I hope to catch you on the next one. We'll see you now.